Imagine not being Leeds, not feeling this pain, not dancing through thunder, not walking through rain. Imagine not rising with fists in the air when the world turned its back and no one would care. We've lived in the ashes, we've drowned in defeat, but still we stand proud on our battered old feet. Imagine not loving with all that you are. Imagine not being Leeds.
We love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.
We love you, Leeds, 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 that we do. How are you all doing? What do y'all think of that then? Let me know in the comment section. I thought that was brilliant. I thought that was brilliant. I really liked how we got to see the whole squad. Pretty much everyone who were there got some minutes under the belts. I thought it was really good. I love the formation. I love the change of styles to a 4-3-3. I think first half we weren't as affected, although some players really stood out. Bogle looked man at match for me. I thought Bogle and Nonto down that right hand side first half looked really threatening. I thought Jack Harrison was very isolated, looked poor, uninterested, below par, just not at it. What I expected of Jack Harrison, to be fair, and this is me digging Jack Harrison out. Because of the situation. I just think even if we love Jack Harrison, even if it were the other way around, he stood out a mile today. He's probably the worst player that put a Leeds shirt on. I think his rating was one of the worst rated as well, even over the people who played less minutes than him. So I think he stood out like a sore thumb. And if it were a case of putting him in shop window, he did nothing there to make anyone stand up and think, yeah, we'll take a punt on him. But I think the rest of the side, I think they were brilliant. I thought first half, midfield really looked solid. There weren't much getting through us there. I thought Gruev had a really good game. He's one of the players I kind of thought may get moved on. Now we had the fantastic news earlier that Anton Stack is a done deal. We had the Here We Go by Fabrizio, which is fantastic to see. So we now know he's coming in, which even feels more exciting after watching that result, watching that match, because it looks like we're going to adopt a free midfield. And you can imagine, you maybe take, Gruev out of there who'll play brilliant today, like I say, and bang Stack in there with Ampadu and Tanaka, or Stack in there with Longstaff and Ampadu, or a mixture of the three out of those five. And I think it's given me a newfound confidence in Gruev, thinking he can play at a higher level. And I think if we're going to adopt free midfield, we need 5 midfielders in there. So Gruev probably stays for me now. Based on that performance, he's brilliant. I think he got through about 87, 88 minutes. I thought it was great. I thought Yakabiol looked solid. Didn't have loads to do, but him and Rodon looked well. Decent communication. Byram, as always, just a 7 out of 10, steady. I thought he dealt with his winger, Ahmad, really well. Bogle was stand out in both halves for me, what man at match, like I say. But yeah, Nonto and him look good. We know when Dan James comes on, he's got a great partnership with Jayden Bogle, so that didn't surprise me to see that sort of continue. It was hard to get James into the game. There were a couple of times we played him through, and his pace were causing that hidden heaven, a headache, and had to foul him a few times and give him a bit of an elbow to the face, which I think he'd have been away and through maybe then. Thought Pido did some nice touches, moving into that 10 role, which were nice to see. We know what Pido's like. He can drop deep, pick that ball up and drive at the defence and play some really nice balls through. Second half, Ramazani were obviously dangerous as well, feeding off of Pido's sort of creative side. And yeah, I'm just really happy. Don't get me wrong, there were moments in that game we were holding on. When we brought our kids on, we brought the young ones on. I mean, poor Sam Chambers playing right back against that Gorku. That was tough. He hit the bar twice. One of them won a deflection. Other one, Gorku again. Really physical player. Him looks a decent player, to be fair, for Scum does that Gorku. And yeah, we're causing us a few issues, but they're always going to have chances. They have got some decent players, but I thought we kept Bruno quiet in that first half. Some of their better players, bigger players for me, didn't outshine any of ours. And there's some big wages there, big players, international players for Scum as poor as they are. And I do think they'll finish below Leeds United. I know it were only friendly, but I thought that anyway. I don't feel like Man United's got that fight, and that what you're going to see from a Leeds side. I saw so much grit today, so much a will not to get beat, a desire to fight for every ball. And I really liked how some of the players who made him as squad players, and Mecha came in on a free transfer, a bit of an underwhelming signing for some. I always stated I think he'll be a good buy. 7 or 8 caps for Germany. He looks a monster up top. He looks a monster. There was one occasion that first half where ball it had clouds on it when that high, and he just brought it down his chest, stopped it dead, and then brought, I think it was Nonto into play, and it was just fantastic to see. He's got physically imposing, looks a bit of a bully to defenders, which is something we've not had in a long time. Can't remember last time really we had someone who can, Paddy does it a bit of shithousery, backing into people, try to get free kicks. He's really good at that too, Yeah, I really liked him, Mecha. I don't think anyone bar Harrison comes out of that game with any negative sort of feedback or criticism. But yeah, 0-0. Unfortunate not to get a goal, especially for those away travelling fans who's gone to Sweden. It would have been nice to get a goal. Ramazani, potentially at best chance. It won't felt to Tanaka as well from a set piece. That was unlucky. I think Strout got in his way. But Ramazani looked lively. You all know on this channel I'm a massive Ramazani fan, huge Ramazani fan. He looked like he was up for it tonight. There's talk of getting packs out. He'll know this, there's noise in getting another winger. Currently, he's fighting with Jack Harrison in these games for that left wing spot. He came on and he showed, Jack Harrison what you need to do as a Leeds United winger. You need to be direct, you need to be running in behind, you need to be creative. Ultimately, you need to be getting 10, 12 goals a season as a winger at Leeds United. That's the sort of the benchmark, and it has been for a fair few years now, and Jack Harrison's been that man as well at Leeds United. Although he looks a shadow of that now. I don't think the booze will have helped him. But like I say, he did nothing in that first half to warrant another minute in pre-season for me. I would try my best to get rid of Jack Harrison, and I'd pump all my time and energy into Ramazani and maybe even Sam Chambers in some more friendlies until we get that left winger in. There were no Bamford today. That was a big news. I think he's gone to Guiseley. No Aronson. There were a few I'd have liked to have seen over some of them, but I really like what I saw. Ball now looked really good, physical. We're dealing well with Hoyland in that second half. If it wasn't for Tom Heaton, which is crazy, if it wasn't for Tom Heaton, we'd have probably won that 2-0. And I know we rode us luck at times, and I know it's only friendly, and I'm not getting carried away at all. We drew 0-0 to Manchester United, and I think they are shite. So there's no, I can't say not too much, because technically we've just drew 0-0 against the side I think are going to flirt with relegation. Now when I say flirt with relegation, I don't think the gap is going to be as big as it was last season. So I think if Manchester United finish 15th, 16th, 17th, you're flirting with it. They're going to be in and around that bottom 6, bottom 7 for me. Maybe where we're going to be, potentially. But I think we'll finish higher than them. And I think I've seen enough today in the players we've currently got. Bearing in mind, we still think there's 2 or 3 standouts to come. I thought Darlow, really good in net. I thought Melier looked really good in net. Mez made a couple of good saves in that second half. Honestly, not many negatives at all. I thought Farker adopting the 4-3-3. It's what the majority of fans wanted, I think, at times in certain games. It's what the recruitment looks like it's been aiming towards, is making a 4-3-3 instead of a 4-2-3-1. And it's, to get the news a couple of hours before kick-off that Anton Stakwa, a done deal from Fabrizio with a here we go. That, and then watching that performance where we played a 4-3-3. Fucking brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It's just got me more excited for what's to come this season. So yeah, let me know in the comment section what you think. But that was a very, very steady, decent performance for opening game of pre-season. So yeah, can't wait to get to Dublin for Milan in a few weeks. That's going to be class. And yeah, some really tough tests to come. Villarreal, Milan. Some decent fixtures there for Leeds to build into, get the competitive sort of games under the belt done. So when we hit Everton on first Monday of that new season, we're good to go. But yeah, I'm enthused. I'm buzzing. Now bring up that Creators Cup tomorrow. The Peacocks first, the mighty Yorkshire Roses. See you all there. Take care. March on together.